out of the whole series. But before I start, I just want to say the quick update that I had previously just uploaded. Basically, this means I'll be spending a lot more time looking at the games out of the Resident Evil series. I will be reviewing them, sort of, but I'll also be doing helpful walkthroughs like this series has been, where I tell you where certain items are, and I also talk about the actual gameplay. But anyway, there's going to be an awesome cutscene here with Mike the Beer Man, who looks like Hunk. Maybe for some random reason Capcom couldn't be asked creating a whole new character, you know, for the actual scene. But let's get into it.
Did you really think I'd trust an American? To tell you the truth, I was contemplating how to get rid of him. But thanks to you, that's no longer necessary.
You were just using him right from the start.
Oh, I must hand it to you. You've demonstrated quite a bit of promise by killing Krauser. When your assimilation with Las Plagas is complete, I'll have you serve as my guard.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to decline your generous offer. I have prior engagements.
Enjoy your smart-mouthing while you can.
Verifica la presión de esa válvula. ¿Y tú? Aquí. ¿Viste algo? No hay problema.
Damn. Hey, it's about time.
Sorry, bad traffic. I'll cover you.
Llénalos de pólvora. Ahí está.
Alright, so first thing is, if you do skip that cutscene, basically that guy with the Gatling gun just up there will still be there. So never skip this cutscene. It makes it a lot more easier for you to run to this tent, get the bullets for the broken butterfly, and then kill this dude. Now you can actually just leave him for Mike to kill. I usually leave Mike to kill him. It makes it so much easier, you know. And it can get difficult because enemies respawn out of nowhere, and it's kind of cool that Mike's there helping you out. And also, if you shoot these red barrels just up there where the tents are, basically that will kill most of the respawned enemies. But you have to still wait for Mike to kill the people on the Gatling gun. So in order to get through this part, we have to open some gates and then start pulling these levers. There's about 3 of them, and also there'll be 3 JJs here, the big guys with their Gatling guns. They don't really have a lot of history to them, so that's why I never did any history on them, because they're just basic generic sort of Ganados with Gatling guns. They're basically like the regens, but just with Gatling guns, you know, the generic sort of like enemy. But let's just fast forward to the first lever and the first JJ. So once we go down the zip line, JJ will appear. All you got to do is kill him simply. I suggest using either a broken butterfly or, you know, the shotgun. Shoot him in the face, that'll stun him. But here's the lever anyway. And there's another problem about this part. Now, you'll notice that Mike takes out the Gatling guns, but it takes at least about 2 minutes, 3 minutes before he takes them out. Sometimes when you get to this part, he glitches out and doesn't even bother shooting at the people on the Gatling guns. So there's, like, as you can see, there's 3 of them. But I'm going to show you a quick tip on how to get rid of them quite quickly without losing a lot of health, because you will face 2 JJs here, and also you'll face another JJ in the next area. So I'll show you this glitch. To kill the people on the Gatling guns, simply use this kind of glitch. It always works for me. Run up these ladders, then run to the left until you can see a box. Make sure you kill everyone up there first, because you will get gang raped into a corner. You'll be able to see the other guy on the Gatling gun across from you where the box is. Take him out, and then run round here. The guy won't be able to hit you because the hit marker for the player is way too close to him. Now for the 3rd guy, you can simply just let Mike take him out, or you can throw a grenade at him, or use the sniper rifle if you really want to, and if the grenade hasn't worked. The only problem about this bit is you can't run up to the 3rd guy and take him out straight away. It's too far away. His Gatling gun can hit you from far away anyway, and if you do run up, you're just putting yourself in harm's way. It's a lot more easier to die here than it is to let Mike take him out, so you might as well let Mike take him out, or just do it my way by running to the 2nd lever just up here and using the sniper rifle, or throw a grenade at him first just to stun him so you can actually use your sniper rifle. You will get hit, so make sure you have quite a lot of health herbs. And the problem is, for the next part, when you go against JJ, it's just all fucking bullshit. And I forgot to mention, there's actually only 2 JJs, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to say 3. It was in my script. I must have wrote it when, like, I was drunk or something. Who fucking knows? You know, it takes me ages to write these scripts. It takes me ages to fucking get the gameplay right, and also find helpful ways for you lot to get through it quite faster. You know, and a lot of times I have had friends say it's been a lot easier, you know, looking at my gameplay and, you know, me talking about the story and also giving helpful tips and shit like that. But if you enjoyed it anyway, you know, like, I enjoy playing the game, I enjoy making reviews for it, and I enjoy talking about this game and shit like that. You know, I do want to do a lot more sort of like review style gameplays, but this is more of a helpful walkthrough that a lot of my friends have said, with a little bit of history on the characters, which is, you know, it took me ages to do. I had to look at game files, I had to look on the internet, you know, I had to have my personal opinions on them as well, and it was just way too hard. But yeah, we're pretty much done here. We just need to go through the next area. I went a bit on a bit of a rant there that weren't part of my script, but let's get into the second part of this. So there will be another cutscene here. It's still a shame what happens to Mike. If you haven't seen this, I'm still going to play out the whole cutscene. And that's pretty much it. It's one of the most depressing ones compared to Louis Sarah's, because this guy's only been in it for a second. I would love to learn a little bit more about Mike if he was you know, addition to the actual game. But here's the awesome cutscene anyway.
Take cover!
Thanks. When we get out of here, drinks are on me.
Yeah, hey, I know a good bar.
Mike! I'll make sure you're the next to go, Saddler.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Leon.
Saddler, you bastard!
It's nothing to get all upset about. Don't tell me you've never swatted a bothersome fly. In essence, it's the same thing.
What did you say? Insects' life doesn't compare to human lives.
When you've acquired this power, you too will understand.
Guess it's another good reason to get the parasite out of my body.
I wish you luck.
Now that's over, we just follow the path to the next area, jump down these ladders and then turn around and there will be a pearl pendant there for you, a treasure if you want to collect it. We'll also get a cutscene. It's not one of my favourites, it's probably one of the most dullest ones, but it does give you an insight of what the parasite can do, and usually it takes over 7 days before the parasite is fully grown and takes over. So yeah, it's sort of like taking over, you know, Leon's body at the moment.
Sorry, Ada.
We have to get that parasite out of your body.
Yeah. But before that, I gotta save Ashley.
Fine. Let's split up.
Now we're here, there will be another regen. You can kill him if you want, but me personally, I just skip him. It wastes too much sniper bullets for you to take him out. You know, it's just a waste. But if you want to get that extra 5,000 gold and you feel lucky, I mean, do you actually seriously feel lucky, punk? Take him out. But because I've got the hand cannon, I took him out just to show you that you get the 5,000 gold. And also the next area is just, oh, it's such a bitch. You know, you're going against quite a lot of enemies, and you know, it is so tricky at times. So you see what you have to do, you have to get these buttons all whilst enemies respawn everywhere. Also, there'll be another JJ here for you to kill. So I'll push the first button. Now I have to go and kill this enemy with the key. And then we have to put the key into the slot to activate the buttons again. And then we have to press them. And you have to kill quite a lot of enemies. And like I said, it just wastes shitloads of ammo. And that's why I'm so glad I had the unlimited hand cannon. I didn't bother with the Chicago typewriter. The reason why is I was going to do a playthrough of just a pistol run where I'm just using the pistol, and I'll be doing that after I've collected quite a lot of ammo. So now we have clicked both buttons, we can head through the door, and there will be some more enemies there, but only 2, and they'll have riot shields, so be careful when you go through this door. If you don't know they're there and this is your first time playing, I recommend, if it is your first time playing normal, always complete mercenaries mode just to get the free hand cannon. And if you've played it on easy, you'll get that for free. But if you're playing normal, the best weapon to use here is the broken butterfly, TMP and pistol. Never use your shotgun here. Only use your shotgun on the right shield, people. I mean, it's a lot faster using the blacktail than it is shotgun because you got to reload. So using TMP, broken butterfly and the pistol is a lot more easier, and also use quite a lot of flashbangs to your advantage because that'll stun them for a while, and that'll give you a chance to run down and press the buttons if you just want to skip the enemies. So stock up on bloody flashbangs, I'm telling you.
Leon, now!
Let's go!
Alright, so that's done. That is an awesome cutscene. We get to see Sadler's first power, and also the merchants here if you want to upgrade and buy weapons. I don't bother. Also, this is the final chapter as well, and there is quite a lot of cutscenes, so I won't be talking through the cutscenes, and hopefully I'll do a review on the cutscenes. I'll talk about the cutscenes, you know, reacting to them and how I feel about them and what they bring to the table and stuff. So I hope to see you in them. Hopefully I'm doing part 1 of that in the next couple of weeks. But all we have to do is go through this door, shoot these 3 granados, you know, with hammers and God knows what. There is another one just here. Well, another 4, I should say, sorry. And we'll get another cutscene of Ashley and Leon getting the parasite took out of them. So I'm gonna let it play out.
I don't know about this, Leon.
There's only one way to find out. You operate.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Alright. Here goes nothing. How are you feeling?
Like $1,000,000.
I thought you were gonna die. Alright. Guess I'm up.
You okay? I don't know about you, but I think it's time we go home.
So we're finally here at the final chapter. So I'm just gonna give a quick heads up. I'm gonna give you a quick trick on how to get past Sadler really easily. First of all, you need the mine thrower with the scope, and you also need enough money to buy the rocket launcher. So always buy the rocket launcher at this part, if you've already got the mine thrower. If you haven't got any bullets for the mine thrower, just upgrade your clip capacity and just sell any other weapons you don't need. So I will show you these tricks, but first of all, I'm going to go into the history of Sadler. Osmond Sadler was a bioweapons research chief who resided in an isolated Spanish region. He was the leader of the Los Luminados. Sadler's leadership saw the cult to become a dominant force in the region, though the weaponization of the mind control and Plaga parasite to suit his plans for the world domination. He was killed in 2004 during the US Stratcom mission to rescue Ashley Graham, the president's daughter. Sadler's organization had taken How Sadler discovered the existence of the mind-influenced animal species Las Plaga is a mystery, given his non-Spanish name betrays his nature as an outsider. Equally so is how he was able to obtain materials for bioweapons research and fund a paramilitary organization. Sadler entered the region in the early 2000s, intent on possessing the Plagas to gain financial and military influences on the world stage. The Plagas, as recorded in local folklore, had been hidden in the ancient ruins below the first castle's new castle. To gain access to the ruins, Sadler took the guise of a holy man and manipulated the young Raymond Salazar into giving him access by converting him to his new cult, then making him feel guilty over his ancestors' actions and receive redemption. Through Salazar, Sadler was able to gain access to the ruins with the aid of an excavation team. Expecting to find only carcasses, Sadler and his team were surprised to find years later that the excavation team had inhaled spores which regenerated into fully grown Plagas. Sadler began research on the regenerative parasites and had them modified to be more resistant to attempted removals in a project led by Dr. Louis Serra. A new subspecies was also engineered, which would be dominant among the parasites, social, collective, and forced hosts to obey the wishes of the dominant host, who were themselves free of mind control. The conversation of Father Butoris Mendez, the village priest and chief, marked a significant expansion in the cult's power. Mendez was the village priest as well as its elder, leading both politicians and religious affairs of the region. By turning him into a disciple, Sadler was able to convince almost the entire rural community to abandon their Catholic ways and turn into the cult. Injected with Plagas as part of a cleansing ritual to wash away sin, the villagers soon fell under Sadler's control. When this process was complete, he used them as a means of keeping people from endangering his plans and ordering them to kill any outsiders entering their region. With his local power cemented and Plaga-based bioweapons research underway, Sadler moved on with his plans for the world domination.
What's so funny?
Oh, I think you know. The American prevailing is a cliché that only happens in your Hollywood movies. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, you entertain me. To show my appreciation, I will help you awaken from your world of clichés.
Ada, stand back.
So this is how it works if you want to do it the legit way and the longest way. Right, you have to shoot him in the legs, and then his middle eye will explode. You can shoot his eye, or you can use this lever over here to knock him down to expose his middle eye again, also giving you a chance to shoot it. Also, you can run over and knife him in the eye if you want to, or use the red barrels that are planted around this area. So here's for my trick. By shooting the mine thrower into the middle of him, he will expose his middle eye. But there is a short animation for the first part, making you not be able to kill him straight away. So do it again, shoot him with the mine thrower into the middle again, quickly equip your rocket launcher in your inventory, shoot it, boom, all done. So make sure you stay for the end, guys. I will be talking a little bit more through the credits, and also this is pretty quick anyway. There'll be a little cutscene. I'll also talk about the jet ski as well, but here's the cutscene.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Ada!
Gotta go. If I were you, I'd get off this island too.
She really pushed it.
Here, catch. Better get a move on. See you around.
Very cute. We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
It's gonna what?
Hang on, sweetheart.
Behind us!
I know. Just hold on.
So that's the end of the game. It's still one of the best games in the series. I really don't know where Capcom fucked up with Resident Evil 6. You know, it's more action based than it is survival horror like the original 3 of them, like Resident Evil 1, 2 and 3. Number 4 did become a little bit more action, but it had great boss fights and it had great scenes in it that, you know, a lot of people remember. And a lot of people will always come back to it to remember Leon being the most badassest fucking character out of the whole Resident Evil series. And yeah, it is annoying that we have Ashley, but people do remember Ashley and they do talk about her. But like I said before, it was originally released to the GameCube as an exclusive in 2005, and Resident Evil 4 is now available on almost every console imaginable due to its huge popularity. The remastered version has lovingly touched up the original textures and graphics for the Xbox One and PS4, hugely improving the look and the feel of the game. Yes, the controls will feel clunky at first to gamers used to play more modern third-person shooters. However, you'll find you quickly get used to it within the first 15 minutes or so of gameplay. This game still feels spooky and the atmosphere is just brilliant, and it's brilliantly executed from the word go. The difficulty curve is executed, delivering great satisfaction when you outsmart and defeat increasingly challenging enemies or bosses. The boss battles still feel epic 12 years on from the storyline, and the characters, they still remain first class in my eyes. They always will be. Like Dr. Lou Sarah got some funny ass dialogue, same with the people like the police officers. Leon has a smart sense of humour. Yeah, he's got a troubled past, but he delivers this sort of like dialogue that is just amazing. You feel close to him and you understand him a lot better than, you know, any other character. He's just amazing. The voice actor, the actual character, the way Capcom created him just makes you understand how badass he is, and he will not take any shit from anyone. And like I said in previous videos, he's got this dark sense of humour that you can laugh at, but you can also think, wait a minute, is he a bit fucked in the head? You know? It has like this sun-bleached, drained colour to it. The muted colour palette chosen for this third number sequel, fourth if we count, Resident Evil 0, is incredibly restrained and contributes enormously to the oppressive environment, whilst Leon adventures through the game tracking the president's daughter Ashley, riddled with lost plaga, parasites and villagers, cultists and henchmen are refreshing change to the slow moving zombies of the previous entries. The game represents a big departure for the series. The first 3 Biohazard games and injected a grade A action over the shoulder camera, replacing the unsettling fixed angles of the prior games and pushing the series into an action oriented direction. You see, what they did with this game is they gave you a lot of action. So like, for instance, you have weapons there like the knife, grenades, flashbangs, guns that you want to use in this game. And I noticed in Resident Evil 2 that the knife actually has like a percentage of how much damage it can take. So it's not a long-lasting sort of weapon. It's just a load of bullshit, and I am going to touch up on that in my review on that.
Hey, Hunnigan, no
And
glasses.
the great thing about this is you're surviving an onslaught of like gruesome enemies and having meaty combat that foreshadows a new generation of cinematic third-person shooters, and it influenced action games for following decades and sending this series into a path of diminishing returns that I literally only just recently escaped from. This first venture through the remains of treasure and a masterpiece in many horror fans' eyes. It's an odd sensation because this concept once felt like such a leap forward compared to the previous games. Ultimately, these old school controls preserve tension and work with the game's design very well, unlike previous games with their tank controls and their lack of aiming left to right to shoot, and shooting enemies in the legs. Simply put, this game will go down in history as one of the greatest horror games ever, still surpassing many new horror games in this generation. It's one of them horror games that you always go back to and you always remember something about it, whether you hated it or you loved it. The thing I love about this game is I always come back to it when I want to play a decent horror. There's not many decent horror games out there these days. I'm not including like Silent Hill or like Cry of Fear, which is a free to play game on Steam, which is one of the best, which I want to give a big shout out to Mr. G Star 321. He played that game and he made me sort of like appreciate a lot more horror games. I used to hate other horror games. I used to always just play this one. I class this as like the big A-star horror game. You can put this on a pedestal and this would be right up top. If this was a fucking marathon, this would win gold every time, and it still does. And a lot of people still talk about this game to this day, and they still remember the action, the horror elements of this game. It was a new twist compared to the other previous games. They had zombies. This time it's mind control and parasites. And the way Capcom invented that, they did it with so much passion that even the fans to this day still say it's like one of the best ideas they ever made. And I've always wanted them to make a horror film on it. Just Leon looking for Ashley, where they have Lord Sadler, they have Salazar, they have Krauser, they have quite a lot of characters in it. My idea is they're just gonna talk about the game and what happens, and have certain scenes in it and certain bosses, like U3. That's not much of an important boss, but Raymond, Salazar, Krauser, Sadler, Vitoris Mendez, the big cheese, they would be important, important bosses for the film. But they already made quite a lot of Resident Evil films which were a load of bollocks. I think they were fucking compared to the adaptation of Silent Hill. Silent Hill and Resident Evil will always be one of my favourite games. And I have to give a big props and a big thank you to my mate Miss Ducker. She's also the one who got me more back into the Resident Evil series. and I wanted to do sort of reviews and talk about this game quite a lot. And I had so many ideas. I wanted to talk about the bosses and, you know, talk about the characters and go into more detail about them. But that would take fucking years to make, you know. I would have to get every individual, you know, fucking character right. Get all the video clips, you know, for Resident Evil 2, having Leon in that. That's the first time I pretty much met Leon's character. I met him through Resident Evil 2. I was only a kid, I was about 12, and I played that game, and I remember getting shit scared every time I played that game. They built that game to scare people, and this one was built more for you could just relax a little bit, but don't relax too long, otherwise, you know, your head will get chopped off by a fucking big ass regenerator or big ass boss and shit like that. But I still play this game. I have a lot of fun playing mercenary mode or doing Ada Wong's side quest. It gives more to the game. I just wish they did a little bit more to the characters like Mike, who dies after like 2 cutscenes. Well, not even that, he dies after 1 cutscene, for fuck's sake. You know, Louise, Sarah, Ashley herself, even though she's an annoying fucking bitch who I wish I could shoot every time I see her or hear her voice. Half of the time I play it with no sound on because I don't want to hear that bitch. But yeah, they should have done more to them characters, and hopefully in the future they build upon this idea again, instead of having Resident Evil 5, which was alright, not too bad, and then they had that fucking downhill of Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 7 was a fresh new idea, which was great. It did scare me, especially in VR. Fuck me, that woman climbing up the fucking stairs like the Grudge, that was shit scary. So they did improve upon their sort of like survival horror. Resident Evil 2 was alright. The remake to Resident Evil 1 was amazing. I loved that. Resident Evil 2, like I said, it's not a bad game, but they could improve upon it. That's all I'm saying. The story for Leon can get boring, same with Claire's, but there's a lot of people that still love that game. This is only my opinion from playing it, and I played it 4 times now, and I've actually got right into it. I have been playing it to do reviews on it, and I do like it. I do like the game, but I can't wait till they make a remake to Resident Evil 3. Now, they better not fuck up the Nemesis. Nemesis was always one of my favourite bosses out of the Resident Evil series. I just wish they put it in Resident Evil 4. But, you know, they already done that idea, so they scrapped him, and he's not a parasite. You know, he's not made by Saddler. But, you know, they can do quite a lot more now with the technology we've got for games, and the designs would look amazing. There's a lot of designs in Resident Evil 2 that are amazing. The Tyrant looks like a badass, but Nemesis better not fuck up. So come on, Capcom, make at least one more decent game, one more decent Resident Evil before you give up the ghost and you go down the shitter, as well as going down in history as basically just a load of fucking dick sucking leprechauns. I don't know, But anyway, this is the end of the video, guys. This did go on a little bit too long, but I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed reviewing them, and if you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up and a comment down below what you liked about it. If you didn't, well, give us a thumbs down and tell yourself to suck your own mum off. Anyway, pieces, bros and girls.